Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren from Lauren and the Books. This is Minnie. She's sitting on an archive box and she looks very cosy and I think she's going to stay there. You're going to stay there, Pooh Bear? You're looking glam with a nice bit of beard in your mouth. Cross about something, cross about something. Today I'm going to be talking about my book journal. So I briefly mentioned my book journal when I was talking about my reading resolutions video at the beginning of the year, and also talking about the bookish things I got for Christmas. And a couple of people have commented underneath saying they'd like me to go more into detail of what I keep in my book journal and how I find it useful. So this is the first year I've ever had a book journal and I love it. I'm so pleased that I got this for Christmas. The only thing I will say is that I'm going to have to buy another one because I'm going to run out of room pretty much about halfway through the year with this. So this book journal, and I mean I've never seen another book journal in all my life, so I'm just going by this particular book journal, which you can get from busybee.co.uk, and it's £12.99. I've also seen it on Amazon because I've been looking because I want to get the exact same one, and it was around £10 on there. This is not sponsored, this is just the one I got for Christmas and I really love it. So it opens up with, the first thing that it comes with are little tags and things like this. These I've been really using because I've been making much more of a note of what books I've been reading. I've been sort of like sticking a little tag in if I particularly like something or if I particularly hate something. Bits of like imagery I really love and things like that. Something that I want to mention when I'm summing the book up. So they've been really helpful. They just came, obviously you can just get these anyway, but these came for free with it. And also I got some stickers of "This book belongs to," so I haven't used those guys. And I also got some stickers. So these are, so within the section which I'll go into later, there's a section where you can put a final word. So it's got quite a lot here with read again, inspiring, motivating, gripping, wow, dull, read more by author, and then some empty ones that you can use. And it starts with a section for book club. So if you're not in a book club, this might not be very helpful to you, but I run 3 book clubs, so this is extremely helpful for me. So it's got little sections here where I can put the date and the time of book club, the title of the book we're reading, and meeting details. So I run 3 book clubs, one on Facebook, which is the last Sunday of the month, one at work, which is the first Tuesday of the month, and one on the radio, which is sort of like halfway through the month. So I just make a note of like how many people I had there, where it's been rearranged to, who's making cake, etc. And that's just been really helpful, just keeping track of book clubs. So I'm already onto the second page of that. The next section is the section that I use the most and find so useful, and this is the read section, so the books read section. So here, this is all, like, I mean, this is how many I've pulled out. I've read 12 books so far this year. Well done me. So here you start with the title and the author, the date read. It's also got the publisher and the publishing date, and then the category, whether it's non-fiction, fiction, biography or other, the format, and then you've just got space to make notes, and then you can give it a grading out of 5 stars. And this is where I was talking about the sticker earlier, the final word sticker. So I found this really useful because my old wrap-ups, so I only started BookTube last May, and my old wrap-ups, I basically like wouldn't think about the books I'd read until I was sat there with a pile of books and just sort of be like, I like this, I can't really remember. But this I've been able to, as I've been doing my book, I mean I've only done one wrap up since I've had this, but I've been able to flick through and read some of the things that I've written in here. And it's just been really helpful, and as I said, I've been using the little tags. So I feel like already my wrap-up video for this year was much better than the wrap-up videos I've been doing last year, because they just felt much more informative and rather things than me just talking about how much I love the cover. So that's the section I've been using the most. As I said, that is, I'm getting really full up with that. I'm on to the next book I feel like will be the 13th, but there is only room for 66 books in here, which I suppose if you're normal and have a life, that would be plenty. But I read 101 books last year, and I plan on reading, my target is to read 110 books this year, so I am going to have to buy another book. Otherwise I suppose I could photocopy these and then just sort of like place them in. Wouldn't be as glam and lovely, but yeah, this is, I suppose that's something I could do. The next section is books to read, which is something I thought I would really be using lots of. I have only filled out 2. So first of all, like both of these are from when I've been watching booktube videos. So the first one was when Mercedes from Mercy's Bookish Musings was talking about Jane the Fox and Me. I think this was in her top 10 graphic novels video. I was like, oh god, I've got to read that, so I made a note of that there. And then the second one was How to Be Both by Ali Smith, and I've just made a note saying multiple perspectives, and Katie from Books and Things was talking about it. So I imagine this will probably get used a bit more, but I just tend to remember the books that I want to read, and when I go to the library and stuff, if I see them, I'm like, oh, so-and-so talked about that, yeah, I'll get that out. But I guess I will use that a bit more as the year goes on. The next section I haven't used at all, and I should do really, because I do get a lot of books out from the library, and that is books on loan. So this is the bit where, and this is really like chunky, I haven't used this at all, so this is just passages of book to or from date. So I guess this is if you lend out books to people as well, which I do. You can make a note of who you lend them to, which I think probably it would be helpful, because quite often I lose track of who's got what. And for instance, I don't know who's got my copy of Girl on the Train at the moment, and I promised to lend it to somebody the other day, and I don't know whereabouts it is, so I will start using that. Also, I use the library. I didn't know if that might be worth keeping track of library books when they're due back and everything, but yeah, I haven't done that, because, and also I get a receipt printed off at the library, so I don't really need to do that, but that is a section I guess I'll do. And the last section is notes, and this is just where I make a note of the booktube videos I want to make, and dates that I want to put them out. As I said, as you may know, I do a video on a Sunday and a Wednesday, and I also do my favourites on the first of the month, so I like to keep track of what's going in, if I'm tagged in any tags and things like that. And then just on the last page, this is still in the notes section, this is just me keeping track of the books that I'm reading in certain book clubs. So this is my book clubs at work, so books that we'll be reading this year include Confess, which, as you know, I love, Red Rising, The Husband's Secret, Go Set a Watchman, All the Light We Cannot See, Trigger Warning, In a Dark, Dark Wood, and Nora Webster, which I'm really excited about, but I have to wait until October. And then I've also got my Facebook book club, which are recommended, so people who I do my book club with on Facebook recommend me books, and I've just sort of put them in an order that we'll be reading them this year. And my radio book club, that's much more of a discussion group, so I tend to sort of think of a book that would be a good biography to discuss, or a good children's book to discuss, so that's just ideas for book clubs. So yeah, that is my reading journal. I don't know how useful people would have found that, or how interesting, but it might be boring to you. But a few people had mentioned that they wanted me to go over my reading journal, and that is my reading journal. Do any of you guys have reading journals? And which ones do you have? Because if I'm going to have to buy another one, I wonder if I would love to buy this one again, but I wonder if maybe I should branch out a bit. Specifically if there's bits in there that I don't use, like the on loan bit at the moment. Yeah, so I'd love to hear from other people who have book journals. And it's bye from me, and bye from Mrs. Fluff. You probably can't even see her anymore. Do you want to come in closer? Say bye.